Okay, hi everyone. I'm here with Mark Riccio, who is Marky, aka Marky, on your screen. And Mark is going to be offering a class on organic thinking with the text from How to Know Higher Worlds, Chapter 5, which we actually did in a Holy Nights present or group. There was a lot of people in that group this year. And Mark is going to teach it to you over 5 weeks on Sunday morning, and I'll let him tell you the rest. Oh, on anthroposophy.social.com inside the platform.
Thank you, Sally. Hi, everyone. So, what we'll do is we'll go through the details of the text. And one of the tough things with like Steiner's knowledge of higher worlds is you don't always remember what he said. And so, when you don't remember what he said, it's kind of hard to practice. So, what we'll look at, there's 24 paragraphs. We'll see how he put them together. And then we'll look at the exercises and then always go kind of from the whole 24 and then the main famous 7 exercises that he recommended. And the purpose is that as you look at the text from like a comparative point of view, things jump out at you that you wouldn't normally grasp if you just read by yourself or in a study group. So eh, I think, especially if you've struggled with knowledge high worlds or you never felt like doing the exercise, this is a good way to like that New Year's resolution to, hey, I'm really gonna master some aspect of this book. And is it okay just to jump to one chapter? Yeah, it is, because actually all of the exercises in the book kind of resemble each other. So you can read the book as a whole, or you could just jump into chapter five, and chapter five gives you a pretty good foundation. And if you're new to organic thinking, it has much to do just giving the time to really read carefully, putting your what Steiner said into a synopsis that's of value, and then looking at that, let's say in a tableau form. And I think I always found this way super rewarding. I think you will too. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. So, quick question. You're going to offer the text because you can't just use any copy of How to Know Higher Worlds, right?
Yeah, so we have our own text. And the reason is because there's huge deviations from the German in terms of paragraphing. Even some sentences go missing in a lot of the translations, which is kind of surprising. You would think that people would, kind of protect Steiner's writings, but actually the opposite is the case. So, um, also, there's some questions about way Steiner would use certain types of punctuation and dashes that it's a discussion into itself. But we have our own special numbered text. So then we say paragraph two, we're all on the same paragraph. Like just basic common sense, good manner things like numbering the text properly. So that's also important to what we do. So you don't need to bring your own translation, unless,
Right.
of course, it's the German original.
And that's because each sentence is actually has significance within the form, and the paragraphs need to have the maintain the structure that he originally wrote it in, so that the form is revealed, right?
Yeah, so it's Steiner even himself said that if you read a lecture cycle and you read the lectures out of the order that was given, that could have a kind of negative effect on the person spiritually. So it sounds a little bit exaggerated, but he's the one who gave those lectures. So he saw that people would have a tendency not to read organically and structurally, but have a tendency, well, what's the main idea in this chapter? And we try to break those habits by really considering all paragraphs kind of equal value and necessary to what's being said. It's not just like the highlights of the chapter.
And that's the organic thinking that we're studying. I mean that is for the this method, right, of organic.
Yeah. So what is organic thinking? I mean, Steiner said that one idea grows naturally out of, the prior. So when you're reading Steiner, it's almost like, so if there's 24 paragraphs, you'll hear the same thing 24 times from a different perspective, as opposed to, let's say, Steiner, you often quoted, he said a science textbook, each section is different. It's not a subtle repetition or a subtle change of point of view. So the spiritual scientific way is not a combining way of thinking. It's one idea that's projected into various forms. And we know that before Steiner gave a lecture, he had the form of the lecture before the content, and then he went into his clairvoyant mode and filled that form. So, and then so we try to stay true to that process.
Great. So we're studying the form of chapter 5 of How to Know Higher Worlds. This is mine from the Holy Nights. I won't hold it up too long because it's not it's really just my notes. But this is kind of how we do it. We put it in a form, not exactly like that. That's just how I do it. And then we look at each paragraph and we study how it moves through that. And Mark is going to take us through that in 5 weeks. And Mark has studied this for 30 years. He started learning with Florin Lowndes. And so we're lucky to have him teaching this. Thank you, Mark. And we'll see you all on Sunday mornings. And you can find this class in the Anthroposophy.Social.com platform under Living Thinking Heart Cognition. There's two other classes in there, and the Zoom link and everything that you need to know, and the text will be in there. So we'll see you then.
Thank you.